So the Suns, they're on pace to become the third team to rank in the top 3 of offensive and defensive efficiency in the 26 seasons we've had play-by-play data. They would join the 2015 and 17 Warriors. And remember, those Warriors, they lost only a combined 6 playoff games during their dominant title run.
Wow.
Just 6, right? So let's dive back into the Suns as we're back with Perk, Chiney, and Matt. And Perk, I actually want to start with you here. Who do you think is the biggest competition to the Suns in the West?
Is that a real question? You know I'm staying on the dark side. Look, I'm telling y'all, look, I'm not jumping off this ship. I'm going to have to sink with it. I am staying with the Memphis Grizzlies. When you look at their roster and you look at what they have all the pieces and more to make it out of the Western Conference. They have shooting. They have elite guard play. They're on both ends of the floor. They have 2 bigs that anchor the defense. And on top of that, they got great depth that's coming in off the bench. You have Clark. You have Slow-Mo, who comes in and bring a different style of play. You also have Tyus Jones, who I believe is the best backup PG in the league. So when I look at the Western Conference, and I know everybody want to talk about Golden State and how Clay been getting buckets and Jordan Poole, but Memphis, the Memphis Grizzly people down there, them young guys with them old souls, that's who I'm going with.
Perk.
Who breathing hard?
Matt, I respect the fact that you're riding with the Grizzlies all the way through. Like, that salute, my friend. Like, I appreciate
Don't let your heart get you in trouble, though.
But, Matt, I almost feel like
it's not in my heart.
I feel like I asked Perk a trick question here almost. Did I?
That's his team, so you know he's riding with his team. To be honest with you, with Steph's health in jeopardy, I don't feel like anyone, to be honest with you,
That's why I said, is it a trick
is really
question?
a threat to
Yeah.
Phoenix.
It is.
Has a Coach of the Year nominee, an MVP nominee, has a Defensive Player of the Year nominee, and they got CP3. With the deep team. So to me, this team is hitting on all cylinders. They got a taste of what the finals were like last year. They're hungry. They want to get back there. I love Memphis to death, Perk, but my question is, when those lights get really bright and it's really hot outside, are those young players still going to
Like
play the
today
way
in
they
LA.
did all season in the playoffs is my only question. I'm not saying they can't. I just got to see it to believe it.
Exactly. Are they going to be brand new, or are they going to be exactly who they are? And I think the answer we got, the Phoenix Suns from last year, we got it this season. They're the same team, if not better. And this is a team that was in the NBA Finals. And the interesting part that you bring up, especially when it comes to, their top players. All right, Chris Paul, impressive and glad that he's coming back at the right time. But Devin Booker has been tremendous this season. A lot of people say, how will his game really, change for them to really be top tier? Well, it hasn't. He's averaged 26.6 points per game, and still they're getting the wins. Now you're getting supporting cast contributions. Everyone's developed. You mentioned the list, the laundry list of so many aspects that they have in their arsenal. They know who they are, and you can tell 63 and 17, they knew that game 1 to game 82, they all mattered for them to feel like they can be themselves. So the biggest competition to the Phoenix Suns is themselves. They proved it this season.
Let me just leave you with this. There's only been 3 teams to beat Phoenix twice this year. The Clippers.
Yeah, Memphis one of them.
The Grizzlies. And Memphis is the only team to have a winning record against against Phoenix, actually. Memphis is 2-1, so I will leave you with that. But again, the regular season, Perk, is a lot different than the playoffs.
Yeah, but Matt, let me explain something to you, Shanae and Malika, okay? Listen, here's the thing about the Grizzlies, right? The team that has the second best record in the NBA is the Memphis Grizzlies.
Right.
Well, what I'm trying to explain to y'all is that when I went to the game when they played the Brooklyn Nets, I saw it firsthand and live and in person. I said, you know what? This team is different. Not because I was looking at who was blocking shots, who was getting points, or who was grabbing rebounds. I was watching how they were doing the little things, how they were tied on the string on the weak side, Xing out without a lack of communication.
Even without
being
John
tied
Morant.
on the string, helping the helper, sinking and feeling when somebody was driving the help. And I'm like, hold on. Only championship caliber teams are doing these things without communicating. And then on top of that, in that game, KD had 35, 11, and 8, and Kyrie had 43, and the Nets still lost. So they overcome a lot.
I have a question, though, Perk. Everything you just said, could you say the same thing about the Suns? The way that they move on a string defensively?
Yeah,
Which
but
is
I'm
why he's saying,
not doubting the Suns.
he's not doubting the Suns. I think he's saying,
They're a threat.
he's answering the question in the way that I said, is it a trick question? The biggest threat would be the Grizzlies, especially considering where they are.
I would say the difference.
Ja Morant being cryptic about,
I would say
coming
the
back
difference,
soon.
though, is like we know a lot of the Suns players. We know Chris Paul. We know Devin Booker.
I like the ad of Bismack Biyombo.
Exactly.
I just got to see it in the playoffs, Perk. I love Memphis, and I hope they can do it, but I got to see it in the playoffs. The regular season is different.
Memphis might be like the Milwaukee Bucks a couple of years ago, where we said we've seen it in the regular season, prove it in the playoffs, and then by the way, they turned it on and proved it.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.